Welcome back to the Relationship Mentors podcast. Today we are on episode 38, and today's episode is a special one because we have some big news to share with you. This is actually going to be our very last episode that we are releasing this year in 2024. How are you feeling about it, Charlie?
It's all changing. Yeah, we've been doing this podcast for 38 weeks, whatever that is, 8-9 months, and It's been such a cool journey, us sitting down together and talking each week and sharing what we know and people catching up with our life. And it's so weird. We sit down on this couch and then we look at the numbers. There's like 500-600 people that watch the episode every week. And it's like, we're just sat on the couch at home. And it's cool, like imagining 600 people sat there. And yeah, the journey over the last 40 weeks has been really, really cool. And going forward, we've been closing a lot of loops as Mia is 31 and a half weeks pregnant.
Yeah.
So we're just prepping for Bub, a lot of loops closing in our life. And we're just asking what we wanted long term. And this relationship podcast didn't feel like what we wanted to do long term at the moment. Who knows next year if we might come back around to it, or we might release another podcast in like a different format or something.
Yeah.
But for right now, it doesn't feel right.
I feel like we're just going through, it's like the nesting phase of pregnancy where we're really like cleaning out and decluttering a lot of things within the household itself, but then also within the business, and just trying to simplify our lives as much as possible to fully prepare us for parenthood and what that's going to look like. So it's like, I feel like you can never be 100% prepared for what parenthood is going to be. However, what makes me feel great is just like organizing and simplifying life as much as possible. And so even when we looked at business, it's like we've loved doing this podcast, and I feel like we both feel like we'd love to continue doing a podcast in the future, but we would do it differently this next time. It's like I could relaunch a podcast and it be a lot more inspirational and just like have a whole different feel to it.
Yeah.
And
even this feels stale to us. Like we started this podcast on we had the thought and then we filmed the first episode. There was no planning that went into it. We just had the thought, filmed the episode. Next morning, the episode was out, and that's all that went into it. And it's been really fun.
And it was, we have learned so much. When we look back at the last year within business and within life overall, I just feel like it's been a whole like 12 months of we've learned so much in so many different areas. And I feel like we just know our shit so well now. It was like just a whole year of just proving to ourselves how well we know, not just relationship stuff, but like business, the strategy,
amount of micro skills you learn along the way.
Marketing. It's like we just know so much now. And when we look back, there's just been a whole year of implementing so many learnings, so many new skills, like profound thoughts. And it's just, I feel like it's all come together. And now it's like, okay, we are both so sure on ourselves and what we're wanting. That was like, we know what we'd want our future podcast to look like. And right now, this isn't it. And right now in life, was like, let's just prepare for Bub for the rest of the year. Because we have like three months left.
2 months left.
So I was thinking of the year. 3 months left of the year.
All right.
2 months left until we have Bub. And so we're just like fully getting the house ready, simplifying everything as much as possible.
The last 12 months has really been, because we've been in business together the last 12 months, like fully.
Yeah.
It's when we came back from Bali, wasn't it? Like a little bit in Bali, but mainly when we came back from Bali. It's been about 13 months now.
Yeah.
And that's been the biggest learning curve for us. Like the amount of skills we've learned, the amount of getting our hopes up and rejection in business and learning and changing and just keep going, and how much it's tested us. I feel like we've up-leveled so much in the last 12 months.
Yeah, it's like we just have so much persistence and grit now.
Yeah, like we went
to another level. Like it's just continuous.
Yeah, it's like we're so far in this that obviously we're not going to give up.
Yeah.
And we went to a business event the other night, and so many of the speakers were like, believe in yourself, inspiring, like you can do it, work on your mindset, positive thinking.
I did it. You can do it too.
Yeah, build your habits. And we're just like, it doesn't feel like it relates to us anymore. It's like at the start of our journey when we started going to events, we would love that shit. It would pump us up so much and get us ready. But now it just feels like we just know what we need to do and we're doing it.
Yeah. And like we're doing it, we're seeing success, and we're really just building on top of that now.
You really go through different seasons, hey?
Yeah. And not that we started this podcast for us. We did like create it to give value as well, and for you guys to have a deeper connection with us. And we believe that we're doing that now in other forms as well.
We're sharing a lot more of us on Instagram, for example.
Yeah.
And we'd really love to do a weekly vlog just to show behind the scenes of our life on the Gold Coast, raising a baby, building a business, being with all our friends on the Gold Coast, figuring life out.
Yeah, it's just like a new, different way to actually connect with you guys rather than sitting on the couch and doing it.
Yeah, this feels a bit, I don't know, stagnant.
For us, it only feels stagnant. Sorry, hello. It feels stagnant simply because we both feel like it's ready to end this chapter. And then when we relaunch another podcast in the future, I feel like it being so specific and like so fun and exciting, and it's a whole different approach. And I feel like it's such an end of an era of this whole setup,
Yeah.
the conversations that we're having now, because I see like the next podcast or the next season of podcast being so different.
Isn't it so cool that all these episodes are out on YouTube
Yeah.
and on Spotify and Apple, and then we can always go back to them, like episode number 1. And then when our daughter grows up, like being able to show her the episodes. Look, when mum and dad were so young. Like, isn't it mad us growing up in this era now and having kids that we have footage of us online?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. And it's so, like, we are so appreciative of ourselves for, like, how much we've shown up in this time and how consistent we've been. And just, like, hearing the feedback from you guys of, like, you guys are getting value from this and you're learning things and you're actually improving your relationship from the advice that we've given over the last 38 weeks. So that has been really amazing. And it's, like, such a give and take. It's like we were only kept going for so long because of, like, how many people were viewing and having feedback, and now we're just starting a new era of life.
Yeah, I'm
Which is
excited
so
for it.
exciting.
And with my business stuff, I've gone away from relationship stuff a little bit online, and I realized I was using coaching as a stepping stone to work for myself and building that business, whereas what I loved the most was the content, the marketing, the psychology stuff around that, and I loved doing that every day. But then coaching felt like the thing I had to do. So I've transitioned way more over to helping other coaches with their content, because there's coaches out there that love coaching, but they hate social media. Whereas I'm a coach that didn't enjoy coaching that much, but I love social media.
But you were such a great coach as well. Like,
Yeah,
you're so
I
good
got
at learning a skill and then mastering the skill.
Yeah, like I've worked with hundreds of clients and got amazing results, and it wasn't what lit me up anymore.
Yeah. And I think that's what it was, because it's like when I first met you, you really loved, like you were just, or you came across because you were just really great at coaching. And I think it's just a moment in life where we're like, certain things have really served us
Yeah.
through our journey.
Yeah, so I'm still coaching in the sense of it's more social media consulting around helping other coaches. And yeah, just a lot of cool things happening behind the scenes. Like myself and a friend are building a software business around helping coaches with their content. And I can't see anyone else doing it in the space. And I'm in a position where I know hundreds of coaches, so it's great marketing as well. So I feel in a great position with that. So it's exciting to have different things happening, and to actually feel excited about business again is a really nice feeling.
And that's so, and I feel like everything's happening for a reason. It's like all my relationship coach clients at the moment, I'm loving them so much, and I'm so passionate about that. And knowing that it's like I'm about to go into or we are both about to go into such a whole new chapter once our bub is here, which is so exciting.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It's really cool how many like just everything closing and organizing. Like in the house here, we've been organizing. We did a big clear out of the office, all the stuff out of there, throwing shit away. We put take 5 bags to the charity of old clothes and stuff.
I think there was 5 garbage bags, but then there's also other big bags full of just
stuff.
Actual household things rather than just clothes. So that alone felt so good. And just also throwing out a lot of things in the bin.
Yeah, and clean out the garage and
storage room.
Oh, everything. It felt so nice cluttering that, ending certain relationships in our life, like having that situation closed. And the podcast stuff with business is feeling like it's closing and ready to open something else.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Like something that we always say a lot within our coaching is just like the way you do one thing is how you do everything. And originally, all that we were wanting to originally focus on was the house of like, yep, let's just go through like our junk drawers and things like that we just have kept paperwork in that we didn't know what to do with, and just organize that before Bub comes in. And then again, how you do one thing is how you do everything. The fact of us just tidying or going through stuff in our house then reflected in every single other area of our life without it intending to happen. It's just naturally unfolded that way. So it's really cool to continuously see how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah. Oh, it's quite sad the podcast is ending.
I know. I was just like, oh.
Can you remember back to an episode that stands out for you?
The biggest thing that I've taken away from the podcast is like, that's the main thing that comes to mind is like through the first few episodes, I remember this was like my first time actually going onto a podcast and continuously speaking and like being a host.
Yeah,
I would say.
articulating your thoughts.
Yeah, and like, yes, articulating my thoughts, what I'm thinking, actually showing my opinion on things. Like the first few episodes, like maybe the 5th episode is when I started to feel more comfortable doing that. And like that's been the biggest takeaway. And now it just feels really easy. Like I don't know how well it's articulated through the podcast. However,
It'd
feels...
be so funny listening back like blah, 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 blah. I did really well there.
But I just feel more comfortable just sharing and being more authentically myself. It's like I don't talk very smoothly in person. So I feel like I genuinely show up as authentic as I can. Well, I feel like it's just super easy now.
Because we've done so many reps. We've done like...
every week.
Yeah, like 20 to 25 hours of speaking on this podcast and turning our thoughts into sentences that make sense for you. like that's a difficult thing at times.
And getting to bounce back off of each other.
Yeah.
But what about you? What does any episode stand out?
I think the pregnancy episodes were cool, like taking people through that journey, and also what a healthy relationship actually feels like. I realize that that's something that a lot of people don't have insight from. I feel like the insights we used to get from the podcast is just watching us talk and seeing how we communicate with each other. Like a lot of people just have never seen a healthy relationship maybe. So it's like watching us or listening to us speak is a big thing for people. Yeah,
and how we communicate with each other and sharing each other's thoughts with each other, and that we can not see or view something the same way, but still value the other person's thought.
It's like the intellectual intimacy as well.
Yeah, it's so great.
Yeah.
So also within saying all of that, we have appreciated all your support over the last 38 weeks, and like viewing, like there's so many of you guys that view every single episode and watch every single episode. Yeah, that's wild.
Like tune in every Monday, 6 a.m.
Even there's like some couples that like show us videos of them listening to the podcast out loud together as they eat dinner, or like as a date, they're both listening to it and then they chat about it afterwards. It's like, I think that's my favorite. Those were my favorite moments.
And like long distance relationships where they both get tasked every Monday to listen to the episode, then they phone each other at night to talk about it and debrief on it.
I think, that's the thing that made me go like, wow, that's so real, cool.
Because we see numbers on the screen like 500-600 people, but they're just numbers on a screen, you know? But when it's like there's an individual person behind every single one of those numbers.
Like it genuinely means a lot. It's like that's so amazing. Like that, I think that is so cool.
It's so much more than views on social media, because like you're tuning in for quite a while and building depth of connection with us.
And consistently like every Monday listening to the episodes.
Yeah,
I think
that is so cool.
That persistency and habit of listening to us. So we really appreciate that.
What's the last words for the listeners about their relationships?
How to go about life. How to go about life. My biggest thing is like touching on what you were just saying before. It's like what a healthy relationship looks like. It's like that was the whole reason why we created the Relationship Mentors, is to help create more thriving relationships. And I think a lot of people could believe that a great thriving relationship is where they're constantly always so happy, they're always on cloud 9, nothing ever goes wrong, they never argue, they never disagree, they never see different points of view, but actually realizing that both of you can get all your needs met within a relationship once you just over communicate and actually see the other person through the way that they see life. through their limiting belief, or like their belief patterns and their values and the way they perceive the world, and then sharing how you perceive the world, you can have such a thriving relationship that way.
Yeah. My final words would just be, your relationship gets to feel fun. It gets to feel easy once you actually put effort in and learn the tools, and knowing at times it doesn't feel good. And the journey is constant disconnection and connection. That's how you grow. You feel bad, you feel great. You feel disconnected, you feel connected. The universe is constantly expanding and contracting. Everything's always moving. So when your relationship doesn't feel good, that doesn't mean the relationship's over or that you're a terrible boyfriend or girlfriend. It just means you need to reconnect or learn how to do that. So, yeah. We felt on mission, isn't it, this? Like, our original mission is to create thriving relationships so children grow up in homes surrounded by love and support. And it's like 500 people listening to this episode every single week. Like, the impact that would have created.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
proud of us.
I'm proud of us. I'm proud of you guys for tuning in every week as well.
Yeah.
It's meant so much to us, and we will see you on social media.
It's like, what do you say now?
Yeah, I was like, I'm sure we'll see you on social media. And
yeah, reach out on Instagram, Mia Brooke Cherry or Charlie Owen Coach. And yeah, just let us know if you're listening to this episode. And we will release some sort of podcast in the future. But also, there's 37 episodes to go back to listen to. Like, if you're just tuning in now or you've only listened to a few, like, there's so many to go back through. So just set an alarm every Monday to go listen to an episode, and you'll be great. And these are always going to be out there, which is cool.
Exactly. And I'm still doing relationship coaching as well. So
yeah, Mia's still doing relationship coaching. If you're listening to this and you're like, all right, now I need help because it's the final episode, the last minute of the final episode.
Yeah.
Reach out to Mia.
Thank you guys so much for supporting us through this whole journey. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next time.
Love you guys.